Welcome to the People's Podcast. It's the only podcast where we keep it all the way real. So today the Dow rallied 500 points. Wall Street cheers on the reopening of the economy. So what do you fellas think about the economy reopening at this point?
It's
Reopened. When did that happen?
well, it's been open, but like the flow, how it's the usual flow to the economy has not been the same. A lot of online exchanges. A lot of stocks have gone down. A lot have gone up that were not up a while ago. So I think it's shown like the shift, and it shows the shift where people's money is going now. I think airlines are not doing so great. Maybe they'll come back, but I don't know. All the big dogs, I think, kind of err on the side of caution right now with the economy.
They always said that the big guys were gonna be the ones to not really get affected, so that's definitely a good thing. Maybe it could get back on track more quicker, like that way.
No, I agree. I agree with that. Like, we gotta. I think everybody's trying to figure it out.
I see what Big's saying. Like airlines is bad now, but like Shopify's through the roof.
Right. Right.
It's like a shift in the stock market.
That shows you everywhere where it's like going, like what's essential, what's not, what's where the money's traveling to. No one's traveling, or not as many. So of course airlines are gonna go down. You know, I mean, they never shut it down officially, the airlines, but they definitely lost revenue by just not having as many people, especially now in the summertime. It's gonna change a lot of things. We haven't seen yet. The reset has just begun. We don't even know what's going to be the final. There never is a final setting, but we don't even know the swiftness of the change yet. I think we're still in it.
It's safe to say that we're entirely dependent on consumer spending since the investments are on the decline, you would say, right?
Yeah, I feel so.
Yeah, so how long do you think the road would be for us as a country to get back out of this recession?
Yeah, Gerard, you could take that. You could take a crack.
There's a lot of talks about that,
It seems like it's a tough question to take a crack at since we're on a global recession right now.
That's what economists are discussing. Is going to be a V-shaped recovery, a U-shaped recovery, or L. A V.
Maybe you could explain. You could explain those. Maybe you could explain those.
The V means, like, let's say that the stock, like the Dow Jones, it goes down, then straight back up.
Okay.
I get it.
It was like a shape.
I get it.
All right. Okay.
Don't go back up. L means it just goes down and just stays down for a while.
So what are they predicting? A V?
Different economists saying different things, but I'll tell you one thing. Since everything was shut down this quarter, I think when the quarter two earnings come in, there's going to be a drop in a lot of stocks because the earnings are not going to be good for the second quarter.
Right.
So I think in the summer,
that might be good for investors. So we might see so it might be good for investors. It might be a market good for investors. It might balance it out even more than
if it's via you. If it's via you, yeah. But
you never know, though. It's all forecasted. So you don't really know which way it's going to be.
That was a good answer.
But the truth is we're gonna have to shape what the letter is gonna be, kind of. I think that's what it's about. Yeah. We gotta shape.
Yeah,
whatever be a U.
Wherever we spend our money at, that'll be quicker to be a V. Things.
And what do you think?
Exactly.
What do you think the biggest? What do you think the biggest attraction in the economy would be in this time, like on this phase one, you would say?
What do you mean? What do people want to spend their money on?
Yeah, more or less. Like, you know, is there a certain? Is it what do you think? We're in like in a service economy, so maybe it would be in that.
No, because I think for that we have. Well, my bad. Go ahead.
I think it's still more stay-home economy type companies like Microsoft, like Zoom, like DocuSign, Electric Signature. I think NVIDIA, Cisco. Cisco actually has like a version like this where you can speak, which making their numbers maybe grow. I think a lot of technology, the future headed towards a lot of technology economy. People are putting their money in technology, like big corporations. Even
You think that's what we ought to do?
I mean, that's where the money's gonna go, because a lot of companies are staying home.
Yeah.
It's all about the stay home now. If you don't have a plan to at least make your business half or quarter stay home, you're not working in the right, you know, you're not in the right zone. Everything's gonna be moving to stay home or grab and go, or it's gonna be a lot of keep it moving business. Even if you go outside, it's not gonna be like stationary anymore. That's all gonna change. That's gonna be few and far in between. But I was saying, we see examples though of what people want to spend their money on. The other states are open, so you see what they want. People are still trying to go to the mall. People are still trying to go to nightclubs, have nightlife.
But you think it would be that easy for New York to follow the same path? Nah, not at all, right?
I think New York's a very, very unique situation out of the world. I think New York is the most unique situation out of anywhere in the world because of the way we live and how our market is based on being close to each other. And that's how we do. We got subways, we got hustle and bustle, we got people all around everywhere.
So what do you think
on top of each other?
What do you think they could do as far as giving us safety, being out in the open and conducting business with the business that's we have to be with,
I mean,
just to get this recession back.
They're gonna have to put up signs like mandatory required mask, mandatory social distancing.
So you think that's going to be play a big part in that coming back into the recession, coming back into play, or any?
Yeah, I mean,
no. Or no.
But like Biggs was saying though, that people might get tired of waiting online quick though. Like people get tired of waiting in sort of time, so they might shift back. Might stay technology driven.
Right. There'll be a surge at first of people that want to go back and be in the mix and see everything, but then they're gonna realize like life. I was able to have more access easier when I was at home, so let me just order online. So I think we'll see, like once they do let people back in the mall, back in the store, that first maybe month, I'll even say maybe that first month is like you see people going back to spend, but I think it'll drop off and it'll go back to people being back online because big companies are already doing it. So who's to say that the smaller companies are not going to follow eventually, especially if they see their numbers. The numbers are going to dictate what the companies want to do. Do I want to pay rent here anymore, or do I just want to accept that this is the new way of living, and we've made more than our margins now, so maybe we just need to be online. So we got to let that set in. That hasn't even set in yet. New York will be the interesting place though. If we could get back to running regular, that's a big deal. That's not an easy task.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. There's this whole new wave. It's called teledoc, which means shows how virtual and digital are going. You call a doctor on the phone. You don't go to the office. It's teledoc. You call them and talk like this with your doctor. So
right.
I told you the shift.
Yeah, I got family with like nurses and doctors and stuff, and that's how they do it. They do So you can't do that for everything, but a lot of things you can do teledoc, and just it's essentially having like a living WebMD. Like WebMD is alive, like in front of you. You could tell them, yeah, this is what I think I have. That's how it can move too. You can eventually end up doing that as well. So even the medical field could change and adapt to somewhat being online. They could probably benefit more because they can add that. That's an added step they'll add to their thing. But they're always going to be there. Medical field's always going to be in the face of people. But maybe now you can add an online component too.
Well, teledoc stock has exploded over the last 2 months.
Exactly. So that tells you, that pretty much tells you everything right there. That's where we need to be with it. Especially that. You seen the overflow. I think that was the whole in the beginning, the whole people have to stay home. It was the medical systems getting backed up. So they wanted to try to prevent that. So if we could have the mask, the PPE, we just got to see what the rules and the regulations are going to be. Is it going to be different for everybody's job? Is it all for New York State? Is it is it different here? Is it different for this mall than this mall? Like, what is that going to be? I'm curious to see how they're going to do that. You're
So
definitely going to have postings.
They will end up having postings about wearing your mask.
Yeah, that'll definitely be there. They'll have like there might be a point where it's like part of, like, it's on the door, like it's not a sign anymore. It's like part of the door, how it says closed or open, and it says must wear your mask. That might be the thing.
It'll probably be to the business owner to enforce these rules. You think it'll, yeah, right?
If you go to a mall, it's gonna be at the entrances, like mandatory social distancing, requiring to wear a mask, wash your hands regularly.
Right.
I think I could smell already maybe a civil suits going on in that.
Yeah, exactly.
If that is the case.
Well, there'll be a lot of them. It'll be flooded with that. Because you're right. If you go to Palisades Mall, yeah, you definitely got to abide by the rules, whatever the state regulated.
The guards won't tell you have to wear a mask because they're worried about lawsuits. That's 100% right with that.
They already changed that. They'll put it out, but maybe can't enforce. Right. Which kind of defeats the whole purpose anyway. But that's a whole nother. You gotta
put a big sign, like when you walk into the lobby, they gotta have a big sign in the middle, like a stand sign, not like on the door. This way, the big sign, I think, will make people. All right, I need to bring my mask. No?
Maybe, but you'll still have those people that are just no mask.
Small percentage probably.
Yeah, small. Most people will, but you'll see small little couple people that are not having. Yeah, the 5% will have no mask, but that's expected anyway. Yeah, no one's ever gonna go exactly 100% follow. So there's always, even if you said it was mandatory, there's still gonna be people trying to get in without a mask. But that PPE is a big deal. That's definitely gonna dictate a lot of how things work. Because if you have to wear so much PPE in some of these jobs, maybe people get fed up with doing that, and they maybe try to do other things, thus to stay home and try to make money from your house.
Yeah, because some people might feel it's unsafe to go out. Like, if I have to wear a mask and social distance when I go to the mall, why even go? Is it even safe for me to go?
Right. And we know that, and they're going to be reporting too. There's going to be reports on when we go back. Oh, this is going up, and so that's what I'm saying. People are going to be hyped to go out for 3 weeks, and then by that 4th week, it's like, okay, probably should just stay home now and just. I know how to do it now. I know how to do it from the house. Now I got that energy out. So now I could go back home.
Probably like a lot of older people too will be more inclined to stay home.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. So they're staying home. Older.
Right off the rip, the internet economy.
That's the big effect on the economy right there. Because that's besides millennials, like people over 55 are we're the 2 biggest populations in the country. Either millennials or baby boomers. So if they stay home, what's that gonna do?
Well, it only boosts that online, because now those older people that didn't know nothing about the internet before, now they was forced to stay home. Maybe they had to order groceries online. They might have had to order their medication online. So now they kind of have a knack for, okay, it's not so bad. It's not the big bag internet that we don't know about. They know how to use it. They start using. So now everybody, once you get everybody, young and old, because young people they're already past everybody with the internet. They're past everybody. But once old people could do enough to order things and to do that, that's where your income's coming from. That's where your revenue's coming from. And their subscription.
People are still more likely to run to the mall and all that too.
They'll still go to the mall, and I get it. They got that young energy. You want to be out and about. I understand that. But like you said, older, probably even 40s and up, you probably spending more time at your house. If I had to guess, spending more time at your house, no matter what happens, however it opens up, because it will be a little up. It'll be a little bump in the economy when we first go back officially, I'm sure.
I just want to say, when we go back to the young guys watching there, please wear your mask. You're putting everybody in.
That's gonna be the choice of each individual. That's gonna be the choice of each. No jurisdiction over that. No jurisdiction.
We don't know that. They could enforce something if they really felt like
certain
it.
stores, they won't be able to get in without a mask as well.
No, I mean on a federal, you get a federal offense if you
like walking the streets and stuff. Yeah, like the sidewalks.
That has to be mandated soon. I hope so.
I mean, yeah. I see people out without masks now in the city, so it is. I mean, I would say if I had to say a percentage of people in the city who wear masks versus not, it's probably like 60-40. It's probably like 60-40, 50-50. If for every 3 people that have a mask, there's like 1 person that don't. Like just whatever. And then that turns into like a group of a couple cats that don't.
And I get it, it's you know, like you forget some days, but you should try at least.
I don't think they're forgetting. I think they just don't care about the mask.
Yeah, it's like, if you don't gotta wear a mask, do I gotta wear one? You know what I'm
saying?
Right,
like, exactly. Especially if you're a younger person, you're probably like, I'm not wearing no mask. You know, I'm out here. They're trying to be seen. You're trying to be seen if you're younger. So I get it. I get everybody. This is unprecedented. We've never been through this. So I'm not mad at nobody's reaction to it. We can't be mad at nobody. Like, we don't know what's happened. This never happened before. So it is what it is. Let's keep 6 feet. That's probably how it should have been anyway. It was always like kind of keep your distance kind of and wash your hands. That's what we got to do. But these are things we got to talk about now and discuss in business now. In a business context, you got to talk about wearing gloves, and is that a lawsuit now? Is that how do you enforce these things? That's changed. That's you telling me that's not going to shape and mold the economy? That's going to make it the 2.0. That's where the 2.0 comes in. That's going to change. That changes a lot of things, and we haven't even seen yet. The stuff is opening up.
To what I was saying, the service economy. That's what we're ran on in this part of the country.
Yeah, that's true.
I would say the whole country, but mostly in New York, definitely.
Yeah, it's all about like business, like everybody. It's about networking and doing business in New York. Everybody has to work together and get the right deals and get the right tax cuts and know where to put your money and know how to get to the right person. That's New York. That's why we're unlike any other place. That's why we're going to open last, because we got to figure it out. There has to be a groundwork for how you get that back and running.
Well, Wall Street, the whole economy is based in New York. Wall Street is in New York.
Right, exactly. So that tells you everything right there. Wall Street, it runs the world pretty much. That's the market.
Yeah, exactly.
Of the world. It's like the eye of the storm right there.
Based on Wall Street.
Right. So that tells you everything right there. Manhattan, is the district. That's where money did. The financial district. That's it. That's where it's done. That's where it's done. Yeah. Financial district. That's the whole world's epicenter. So I don't think they have a plan. I really don't think they have an official plan. I think some of this is trial and error right now. We're just trying to see what works. How do we get back? How do you open a big mall? How do you open a giant mall again? How do you open because the street been open. Do you think Fordham Road you can't go to be in a store right now? You definitely can. Some of them you can, because that's all like mom and pop. Maybe not mom and pop, but it's owned by just a person. It's not like a big corporation or for those little boutiques. Those little boutiques where they got fitteds and all that kind of stuff. What is their regulation? Do they need to be PPE? Are they, what do they have to do? Are they gonna, right? What do they have to do? What do delis have to do? Some delis, the people they're just in there. Some delis it's 5 at a time. Some delis some delis have the glass up, like that glass little barrier. Some don't. They're just wearing masks. So it feels like right now everybody just go for yourself, like figure it out. To me, anyway.
Yeah.
It's wild west right now till they come out. I think that's a great point to what we're saying. That shows that the people are running it. They're literally seeing how the people function. How are they making? What do they want to buy? How are they going to make their money? How are they going to be comfortable? And that's how they're going to build the plan around it. What do the people want to do? And then we'll do whatever that. But little do we know, we don't even know that officially, everybody. But little do we know, like the market is going to determine where the people want to spend their money. That's where it's going to go.
People know they have that type of power with the government in that sort of sense.
I think being home for some has made you more financially aware, if nothing else, because you had to sort of have watch. You've heard a little bit about stock market now. You know a little bit about how to invest. Even if you're on Instagram just flipping through, you kind of seen something at this point. You've had a YouTube ad come up and might have.
If you follow the People's Economy on Instagram,
right.
Follow us, you find out some facts.
Or you could definitely follow the People's Economy on Instagram. That's definitely 100% fact. But that's how I think that's how they're moving. It's literally the people are going to decide for the.
So you would say that it's the people over the government's responsibility to stimulate the economy back. You know, as a consumer demand, like who's more responsible for that? It seems like you said the people. I think
it might be like a relationship type thing. Like you need both.
Joint, right? All of us, right?
You need all of us. You need government and.
But we need the right person in charge for even that to take place, even the thought of that. I think.
I don't think that's so. I don't think that's so because I think it's run by council anyway. It's not ran by one person. We need a group of people in both parties, in the government and the people, to make everything go. The people set the market. If all people say we only want to work online now, we're just working online, and we just stopped and everybody tried to figure it out online, I think the government would shift to that, and everything would shift to have it, you're online now, if we wanted to do that. But that's why you need both. So the government stimulates, they say, here's the money, but you need the people to go out and do something and buy and do stuff with it. So you need both. You need kind of both. That's my opinion.
What you're saying. I know. No, I could see where that you're talking about. Definitely.
It's not one or the other. Probably never been one or the other. It's always been probably both. Chicken before the egg type. That's what it is, kind of. What came first, the chicken? Yeah, probably is, right. The egg was here with the egg, and then or however you think about it. But you need both. You need the chicken and the egg is needed. You need both. You need both to make it work. And we're seeing right now, you know, the government's pretty much taking care of a lot of people. Maybe I shouldn't say it like that because you do pay into what you've earned, but you get what I'm saying. Like you had to be out of work, not in your hands. It wasn't in your hands that
basically
people are out of work right now.
More or less, I don't know. I'm trying to make a comparison to what Malcolm X said about the bullet in the ballot. I don't know if a certain demographic of people vote together, they can have the whole power in their hands and not even. I don't think anybody's aware of that.
Well, I mean, people are aware that you're talking about like voting blocks. That happens already, but you're talking about. But I think that's almost like a done thing. Like,
but I'm just saying that could be the same way what we're talking about the consumer demand, the government or the people who has the responsibility. That's like more or less people have to be aware about how they spend and where they're spending their money, and we can bounce back faster.
No, that's true. That's true. But that's why I say, like, what percent of people you think that were furloughed or laid off, what percentage of them do you think took the time to really educate themselves on finance? What do you think, in your opinion? I don't know the answer.
Really?
I don't know that. I'm just asking. What do you think?
I don't know. I couldn't say.
You think it's 50-50?
I think it's real low. No.
You think it's like 30? You said you don't think it's 50.
No, I think it's like maybe 20%, 1 out of 5 people.
Yeah, I was going to say something like 20,
like
25% out of everybody has like sat down. And once again, not mad at anybody. Maybe some people took this as a time to just take a break. I get it. But for those 25% that watched any kind of video or educated themselves, they're the ones that's that's definitely going to steer where the market goes. That 25% is going to tell you where everybody's going to go, because that's where the innovation's at, in that 25%.
But I'll tell you this, since American Fed pumped the most money in, a lot of the investors are going to pull their money out of other countries and put it in the American stock market because we had the most stimulus.
Right. Well, we've seen that. Our stimulus was outrageous. If you check the numbers, it was outrageous, the money they were pumping into the
No other
Fed.
country did anything like that. Only America. That's why investors are going to pull their money here.
Right. Well, do you think that all that's a play to get? I would say to get industry back in the U.S., but is there even an industry per se in the U.S. if it's online? I guess yes and no. Like yes and no. The people are working in the U.S. technically, but is that like? Does that stay? How long does that stay in U.S. economy? How long does that stay? That might be that just sounds like a worldly, like a pool of money around the world that everybody now, you just happen to be in. I just happen to live in Australia now, but it doesn't matter.
That does, it actually just overprices stocks because now they're selling more than they're valued for. So many people are buying at once.
Right.
Is it like a bubble? I see what you're saying.
Yeah, is it a bubble? Right.
Yeah.
Is it just gonna pop? Is this gonna be pop? Very soon, or is this a long term thing? I say it's definitely long term. But that 25%, that's where they're gonna show us where the market is at. And the government kind of did already with what was essential services. Those will always be around, obviously.
You think those people were already in that type of field before this hit, or you think they just did their studying?
What you mean?
The people that are doing their studying on business now because of the recession, do you think they were already in that field, or people are starting to realize that it's beneficial?
Studying finance?
Yes, studying finance.
I got a fun test for you guys and the viewers. When you guys get back out there, go to people and start talking about like the economy. You can tell people who are like, it's going to go back to normal. You can tell they haven't thought outside the box. People who may have new ideas, like, looking into Etsy or Amazon, like those people that actually did take it.
Right. That's how you find the 25%ers.
Right. Your own little test, like count how many people you talk to. Somebody actually knows something.
That's a good idea.
The economy.
That would be interesting to do if we could all come together, and anybody that you come across, bring up that conversation, just so we could gather up the intel.
Well, some people ain't just not going to talk to you right now in the street.
You just start regular people, you go back to work, whatever, be like, yo.
Yeah.
Economy, I don't know, start talking about whatever, retail, see what they say.
Sure. You could definitely see who studied what. It's definitely like a case study. You can see who studied what. Oh, you studied this. You were thinking about this. You were thinking about that. That's where your mind was. So that's a great way to even get info now. Now you can get, it's so easy to get just stats now. Analytics are all around you. Analytics all around. And the people who use the analytics, those are the people that usually get it. That's usually the people that set the trend. If you got the analytics right and you know how to make the numbers and how the numbers work and who's thinking what, you could you hold the power. That's all on you, I think. But it's not going back regular. I think regular is an old word now at this point. I think regular is like an old word. It's going to be refined, renewed.